Hi friends, welcome back. As you can tell, this is a very different video from my normal videos, and honestly, I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone, so I hope you'll stick with me while I try to get through this. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca. I am on a GLP-1 journey to better health. Let me get to the beginning of the story of this particular video. So, a company by the name of Mychway reached out to me a while back, and they sent me an email and said, hey, we want you to try out our machine. And I'm like, I don't think so. I didn't even respond. Well, a few weeks later, they sent another email and they said, we would really like you to try out, and I'm going to read it off so I don't get it wrong, the Mychway 5-in-1 40K cavitation and RF skin tightening therapy machine. And it's for body sculpting. I thought, wow, that's a lot. And because they had been persistent, I looked it up and I'm like, well, I don't even know what this is. I don't know what this means. So I looked up cavitation and I found out that cavitation is the process of sending ultrasound waves into the fat cells, and it heats them up and it shakes them up and they burst, and the contents basically gets metabolized through your body, drains out through your lymphatic system. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. And I thought, what is RF skin tightening? And that's a process of sending radio frequency waves into your skin, and it disrupts the collagen and it makes your body produce new collagen and elastin. And I'm thinking that may be something I might be interested in, because as I'm losing weight, obviously my skin is getting looser, it's getting saggier, I'm getting crepey areas on my body that I never had before, even when I lost a lot of weight 10 years ago. So I said, all right, what do you need? And they said, we're going to send you the machine. And by the way, they sent me a code. So if you are interested in this machine, you can use my code Rebecca30 to get $30 off of this machine. And they sent it to me when they sent the machine. I'm thinking, well, that's awfully confident of them that they think I'm going to like the machine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over every single one of the handles that this machine has. I'm going to tell you how I use it, and I'm going to show you some examples. So if you just care about the cavitation, you can skip to that. If you just care about my results and my opinion of this machine, you can skip to that. I'm going to have chapter markers down below. So I do want to cover a couple of things before I get started. The first is, this machine is not for everybody. If you have a pacemaker, you should not be doing cavitation on your body. If you are pregnant, if you've just had surgery, right? There are certain things that just make sense that you probably shouldn't do on yourself. But you really should talk to your healthcare provider if you have any questions at all about your health and using cavitation or RF frequency. So the other thing that I want to talk about is the fact that in order to use every single one of these handles, you need a medium. You need a conductive medium. And so when I talk about each handle, I will tell you what I use. Also, you should be drinking a lot of water, which we should be doing on a GLP-1 anyway, right? We need to be doing that, but drink extra water, even though what you're doing right now. The day before, the day of, the day after, drink lots and lots and lots of water, because your body really needs to flush the garbage from the fat cells out of your body. And that's also true when you do the RF skin tightening therapy. Your skin needs to be hydrated in order for it to work the best. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the small handle. So this handle here is the first one I want to talk about. It is for the eyes. And you do need, like I said, a conductive medium. And the one that I chose for my face is this. It's called Indulge Me Gel Primer. It's Touch of Gold, because it feels good. It's got hyaluronic acid, collagen peptide, vitamin B3. I really like it. And I kind of looked it up, did some research, and it's got pretty good reviews. And so I'll link this down below if you're interested. And in fact, I'll have everything linked down below, so you can just check it out all later. So I'm going to also show you how to get to this handle on the machine. So the first thing we have to do, obviously, is turn it on, which is in the back. Beep. And so all of the handles are shown right here. You just go to the mode. We're going to go all the way to the end. This is the little one. And then you need to set your power level, basically, or intensity level. And I suggest highly that you start, especially with this one, start at a 2. So you can go up to 2, maybe for your first time. And then this is for the amount of time. Take it down to like 5-10 minutes. 10 minutes is good. And then to turn it on, you just hit the play button down here. And when it goes on, you can see that the lights go on. This is really good for around your eyes, for around your mouth. You can do it up around your eyebrows for maybe a little lift up in here. And that will stimulate the collagen in all the right places. And it's very good. The one thing you do not want to do is go over your eyelid. Do not go over your top eyelid. Do not go over your eyeball. You don't want to do that. You can cause damage. The next handle is the 4-polar handle. And this one has 4 poles. And this one's basically for your jawline and your forehead and your neck. But another word of warning, on your neck, do not go over your throat and your thyroid. You can come close. And so it might be beneficial, like when you're doing it, if you want to just put your fingers over your throat so you don't accidentally go over your throat, that would be great. But that's the only place you really need to stay away from. So this is going to be really good for your jawline, which is really what I'm actually interested in. And so then that gets us to the bigger 6-pole handle. This is for your body. So think about your thighs, your arms, and your belly. So this, again, is RF skin tightening. This is not cavitation yet, but it'll help tighten up, the jiggly parts on your thighs or the back of your arms. I'm kind of thinking about doing my bat wings. We'll see. But that's what this is for. And then the next thing we would get into would be the actual cavitation. So I am using a method that they call heat break drain, which means that you go in with RF therapy first, go in with a cavitation, and then you come in with a vacuum. So I had a specific goal in experimenting with this machine. So the one thing that always bothers me about, even when I lose weight, right under my bra line, my belly goes out. And I swear, I lose 50 pounds. When I'm 80 pounds down, I feel like I'm still gonna look pregnant, right? That's what bothers me. So I really decided to use this machine on the area between my bra line and my waist. Let's see how it does. So in order to do the heat, I used this hot cream, and they have it on the Mychway website, and you can also get it on Amazon. Again, everything below. And this really, really does warm up, especially once you start using the RF therapy on it. So I do the RF therapy and I go up and down and I go around in circles. And again, it does come with a manual. You can look at the manual and it shows you all the vectors for the different body parts that you're trying to do things on. And then it will have how to use each handle in what direction and why you're going in that direction, that kind of thing. So I do this first. And then, because you need a gel for cavitation, I use this gel on my body. It's not very expensive. It's fine. It's really good. So you can use this also for your RF therapy if you don't want to use the hot cream, but you really need to use some sort of a gel if you're going to, when you use your cavitation. So I put this on my belly. After I wiped off the hot cream, I put this on my belly and I went in with the cavitation machine, or the cavitation handle, I'm sorry, and went up and down and all around, and I spent 10 minutes on each side of my belly. So the whole cavitation was 20 minutes. I did 10 minutes of RF on each side of my belly, and then I did 10 minutes of cavitation on each side of my belly. And then after that, I wiped off the gel and went in with the vacuum therapy. Now, the thing about the vacuum therapy is that this is, they call it negative pressure, but it's a vacuum. I don't have it on right now, but the one warning I'm going to say is that this little knob right here controls the suction. So if you have it cranked all the way to the top, it's gonna stick on your skin and it's gonna be hard to get off. So make sure you have this when you start all the way down to minimum, and then you can go up from there. Also, there are several different modes with the vacuum handle. Like these two, this is RF. So you could do another session of RF after you use your cavitation. The purpose of the vacuum overall is to move all of that stuff that you've broken up with the cavitation and get it towards your lymph nodes, get it moving around, right? And the other warning that I want to give you about specifically this handle is that there is a high-pitched squeal. I should have said this beforehand. I'm sorry. It's the only thing I didn't like about doing this procedure. But I will also tell you, I mean, it starts and it's this squeal in your head. And after about 20 seconds of doing it, I really wasn't paying attention to it again. And so it's really not that big of a deal, but you should know about it because it can be startling if you don't know it's coming. Of course, you want to know, how did it go? Well, when I first started, I started level 3 on my RF and on my cavitation. And I did that like 3 or 4 sessions for about 2 weeks. And I took my measurements, and I got to tell you, I was disappointed. I lost maybe 1/4 inch in each area. And I thought, well, maybe this just doesn't work on me. And I thought, well, I've got another 2 weeks before I have to sit down and do this review. I may as well crank it. And I don't know why I was nervous to crank it. It didn't hurt. There was no side effects. There's no after effects. So I cranked it to 5, and then I cranked it to 7. And I didn't go any higher than that. But I did another 3 or 4 sessions at 5 and 7. And I thought, okay. And I looked and I thought, looks a little bit different. So here's my before and my after. And I know you're thinking, it doesn't look that different. But then I took my measurements and I was floored. That area right underneath my bra, I lost 2.25 inches. And at my waist, I lost almost 4 inches. And most of that, I will tell you, was in about 2 weeks. When I say I was floored, I couldn't believe it. I did not expect that. I thought it would be great if I lost 1 inch in my waist. I thought it would be great if I lost maybe close to 1 inch, under my bra line. So I'm just shocked that it happened that way. So when they first sent me the machine, they said, look, if you don't like it, send it back. So I kept the box. I'm going to throw away the box and I'm going to keep the machine. I really am interested in seeing what else it can do. So I showed you that I had done my face, but I only did 1 session on my face. So going forward, I would like to work on this some more. And like I said, I would like to work on my bat wings. and we'll see how that goes. It's probably going to be a couple more months before I give you an update on that, but I definitely will. So if you have any questions for me, because I didn't cover everything, go ahead, leave them below. I'll either direct you to the website where they've got an answer, or I'll answer something about my personal experience. So again, if you are interested in this machine, this one in particular, use my code Rebecca30. Right now it's selling for, I think it's $258, and with $30 off it brings it down to $228, and that's a steal. Because if you try to do a body contouring session in like some sort of med spa or some sort of beauty spa, that's going to cost you a lot more. It's going to be like $100 to $300 just per session, just on one body part. And if you want to work on, like I did, my whole upper belly area, that's going to cost you over $1,000. And that's the only thing you're going to get. You're not going to get your belly plus your jaw plus the back of your arms. So for less than $230, you can have this machine at home. And I've got to tell you, it's lightweight. It is lightweight. So you don't have to have it on a cart. You can put it in a shelf. You can leave it in your bathroom. You can pull it out. You can put it away. It is a little bit bulky, but again, it's not heavy. And so you can pull it out and just use it when you want to. And in fact, if you want to do the RF session and watching TV, you can do that too. So yes, I like it. Yes, I'm excited. Yes, I am glad they reached out and allowed me to do this review so I could let you know about it. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.